Wow. What a glorious day the Lord has made. To be rejoiced and be glad in it here in downtown Bartow. Sheriff, thank you for that wonderful introduction. The finest lawman in America. Ladies and gentlemen, great judge. J.J. Corbett, not only a World War II hero, member of the famous unit, the Triple Nickel, but more importantly, the school board member from my area when I was growing up, who represented a model for generations of young people on how to live your life and grow up. Jeb Smith, a lifelong friend who is putting us off on the right foot to begin this program with an invocation and setting our eyes on what's above and not on what's here on earth. I hope you prayed for fishes and loaves as well, Jeb, because it looks like we've got a lot of barbecue that we need to find a plate for. I can't think of a better place to be than downtown Bartow, where I grew up, where I was raised, and where I'm raising my family. Melissa, Abby, Libby, Emma, Hughes, thank you for everything that you mean to me, for your love, for your steadfast support. I would not be here but for your love and support to get us through the next 18 months. Thank you for all that you know. Some people say that this doesn't exist anymore, that this doesn't happen anymore. Flags flying, high school bands playing, prayer on the courthouse steps, World War II veterans and children shoulder to shoulder, generations coming together in common cause, people from all backgrounds in every corner of this state in one place, united behind this movement. I can't think of a better place to begin this. But for those people who say that this doesn't exist anymore, that this doesn't happen anymore, ladies and gentlemen, the American dream is alive and well, and it's right here this morning. I can't imagine a better setting to begin this journey. I can't imagine a better place to announce that I am running for governor of the state of Florida. I'm fortunate. I've been a Floridian all my life. In fact, I'm a fifth-generation Floridian. There are people in this audience who've been here longer than that. My children are the sixth. I don't say that because it makes me a better Floridian. I say that because it means that I have deep roots in our state to honor. In fact, some of the people who come here most recently have the most to teach us about how special our state really is. I joke with Melissa, she moved every 2 years of her life as an Air Force brat. She saw the world and she settled in Bartow. She settled for the center of the universe. And I've been blessed. I was born the youngest of four to two wonderful parents who taught me right from wrong, who instilled faith, who taught us about hard work and responsibility. I grew up in our family's citrus and cattle business. Our shop was right next to what is now Sonny's. Some of you probably had to park over there. And at that old shop, I learned an awful lot. In fact, it's like any other small business. There's no such thing as 9 to 5. There's no holidays. In fact, many of you will remember the haunting thing about the 1980s is how many of the most devastating freezes to hit our state occurred on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And so I learned at an early age about riding groves late at night, checking pumps and checking temperatures, and assessing the damage the next morning and moving forward. And every summer we would replant. And the summer after that, after another freeze, we would replant again. But we would persevere. At the back corner of that same parking lot that's now the county administration building was a cow pen. It's where I had my 4-H project. It's a Horned Hereford bull. Georgia Boy was his name. And every morning before school, I would feed him, and every afternoon after school, I would go back and drag him around the pen, or actually, more accurately, be dragged around that pen. Hard work, responsibility, perseverance. These are common values. But in our society today, they are all too rare. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to serve my community, to serve my friends and neighbors, to serve my state, to serve my nation. But make no mistake, for me, it has always been Florida first. Florida's conservative leadership has created an environment where businesses can create jobs, where Floridians can find work, and families can prosper. It was conservative principles that cut our state's unemployment rate in half, and our state is growing once again. But we've got so much more yet to be done. We have to put Florida first so that we're more than a prize for a life well lived someplace else. We can make Florida the launch pad for the American dream. It isn't enough. It isn't enough simply to cut the unemployment rate in half, but to plant the seeds for entirely new industries to come here and a higher quality of life. You know, other states, California, New York, Illinois, they spend more than they can afford on big government, on growing bureaucracy, and imposing higher taxes on their people. I've always wondered, if that big bloated government was so great, why are all of their people moving to the Sunshine State? Our state can be the launch pad for the American dream. The state that is the fishing capital of the world can also be the state that builds the boats and trains the craftsmen. The state that has trained millions of soldiers and sailors and airmen can retrain our own citizens with the skills they need to compete in a rapidly changing world and win. The state that put a man on the moon can develop the next generation of tools for the next giant leap for mankind. Florida can be the launch pad for the American dream. Now, to do this, we need a well-educated and well-trained workforce. Our state's future is affected by how many third graders can read and write. Our state's competitiveness is driven by how many 12th graders will graduate with marketable, employable skills. I have benefited personally from what a great and caring school system can do. My children are benefiting from that today. And I've seen where there's room for improvement. Businesses, teachers, parents, students. Together we really can make great things happen, as our principal used to say on that intercom every single day. And Mr. Cooper is here today, and thank you for implanting that in my mind and imprinting it on our heart, that together we really can make great things happen. We can do this by giving every student the skills they need to succeed, giving parents the right to choose the right education for their child, and giving local communities, not Washington, not even Tallahassee, the power to control their own future. And just as important as education is job training. For some reason, we have stigmatized hard work outside of a 4-year university degree. I believe that middle and high schoolers have the right to know what they can earn as a tradesman, a welder, a manufacturer, and a plumber, before they're pressured into student debt for a degree they don't want and can't use. When people work and have self-sufficiency, every other problem is solvable. When people have no work and no hope, even the smallest issue clouds our future. Florida can be the launch pad for the American dream. Florida can be the place where people launch those dreams, prepare for them, raise their families, and make the most of the opportunities that we have. Basic government responsibility begins with public safety. Crime in Florida is at a 45-year low, all thanks to the men and women who serve us, protect us, put their lives at risk, and uphold law and order. Our first responders deserve our gratitude, our appreciation, our support, and they will have it every day if I am their governor. I will protect our Second Amendment rights. We take those seriously in the state of Florida. Fighting for faith, for families, for freedom, these things are non-negotiable. We have a moral obligation to defend life, a duty to protect our constitutional freedoms, and a responsibility to keep our borders, our cities, and our neighborhoods safe and secure. No one understands this better than our veterans. Our veterans and their families put their lives at risk to protect our liberties every single day. And when they come home, we will take care of them. And people will know that Florida is the most military and veteran-friendly state in the nation. Our veterans and first responders will know that with me as their next governor, if they have worn the uniform to keep us safe and secure, they will be recognized and honored, and let's begin by doing that right now. Let's give all of our military and first responders a round of applause. We are some of the luckiest people in the world. Not only are we Americans, we get to call Florida home. And it's our job to keep it special. It's our job to work together to make Florida even better, to protect our precious resources that make Florida, Florida, to leave a state to our children and our grandchildren that is stronger than the one that we get to live in right now. And if we do, Florida will be first, and Florida will be the launch pad for the American dream. American exceptionalism. No, Florida exceptionalism. It's real. And if you ever doubt it, think about the grocery store clerk from Lakeland who transformed the supermarket industry. Think about the cashier on International Drive who now owns their own souvenir shop. Think about the truck driver hauling fruit to markets up north who saves up and buys a grove, and then another, and then another. Think about the hotel maid who now owns her own bed and breakfast. Hardworking folks like these have been able to achieve their American dream right here in Florida. I want every Floridian to be able to tell us a similar story. And I want everyone all across this country to know that here is where you come to make that happen. And it's why I am running for governor of the great state of Florida. I can't do this alone. I need you on the team. You are my day one supporters. I need you to tell your friends, your neighbors, your classmates, your colleagues, anybody who will stand still to join this movement. And what a movement this is. You have the passion. You have the power. This is what politics can be. This is what politics will be if I am your governor. Together we will put Florida first and make Florida the launch pad for the American dream. Thank you all very much. God bless each and every one of you. And God bless the great state of Florida.
Hey everybody, Adam Putnam here. Thank you for watching our video. Please take a second to click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you can stay up to date on our latest videos. And I'll just wait while you do that. Have you done it yet? They're gonna be good.